Hello everyone, in this video we are going to see the synchronous counter. So already we have seen the asynchronous counter in the previous videos. So here first of all we will see what is the basic difference between synchronous and asynchronous counter. So as we have seen asynchronous counter, in asynchronous counter, asynchronous means the clock will be provided to each and every flip-flop at different timings, right? And in synchronous counter the clocks will be given at a time simultaneously to all the flip-flops. So this is the main difference between synchronous and asynchronous. So and in asynchronous counter we had used the JK flip-flop, but those JK flip-flops were tied, J and K inputs were tied to logic 1, that is plus 5 volt or VCC we can say. And here in asynchronous counter, in synchronous counter, the JK inputs are tied, only one flip-flops JK inputs are tied to 1, and the other flip-flops JK input is tied to the first flip-flops output. But in asynchronous counter, all the JK flip-flops inputs were tied to 1, okay, and the clock will be was provided to only first flip-flop. But here the clock is provided to each and every flip-flop simultaneously, okay. In asynchronous counter, one flip-flop was driving to another flip-flop. That means one flip-flop's output was connected to other flip-flops or next flip-flops clock input, okay. So it was in cascaded fashion. So here now we will see how does this synchronous counter works. And you might have thinking that why did I draw this diagram directly without explaining, okay. So we will see this designing part in the next video. For now we will see how does this synchronous counter works, okay, and we will try to understand the connections of this synchronous counter, okay. Now I have drawn here 2-bit flip-flop, 2-bit counter, okay. So 2 bits means what? 2 flip-flops must be there, okay. And here the outputs are Q0 and Q1. So at these two outputs we will get the exact 2-bit count, okay. Now we will see. So here the clock is given to the clock inputs of both the flip-flops simultaneously. If suppose you want to have the 3-bit counting, okay, then you will have one more flip-flop here, and the connections will be this Q1 will be connected to J2 K2, here must be 0. So this Q1 will be connected to J2 K2 simultaneously, and the clock will be connected to this clock pin of this third flip-flop, okay. In this way we can have the connection, okay. Now here the first flip-flops inputs, that is J0 and K0, are connected to logic 1. The Q0 is driving, or the Q0 output is connected to J1 and K1 of the second flip-flop, okay. Now whenever we apply the clock signal, that time on which edge it will be triggered, okay. So on which edge it will be triggered. So here the bubble indicates this is falling, or it will require the logic 0, but here this arrow represents it is edge triggered flip-flop. So here that means it will work on the falling edge, okay. It will work on the falling edge only. Now if you want to draw the truth table or working of this synchronous counter, then we will have the 3 signals only. The first one will be clock, second will be Q0, or I will write here Q1, and next will be Q0, because the Q1 is what? Q1 is at the rightmost side. So the flip-flops considered, the flip-flops at rightmost side are considered as most significant bit, MSB, and the flip-flops are at the leftmost side are considered as least significant bit, because the clock is applied to least significant bit first. Okay, we don't apply the clock at the most significant bit flip-flop. Okay, that is the wrong concept. You just remember this concept. Now whenever, suppose we just switch on the power supply, okay, and just assume that the initial states of the Q0 and Q1 will be 0 0, okay, and there the clock will also be 0. Okay, now what will happen? If suppose the clock is provided means, suppose the following age is applied to this clock inputs of both the flip-flops, then what will happen? Actually, consider we are using here JK flip-flop. The first JK flip-flop is in toggle mode. Toggle mode means the JK flip-flop will have it is having the 4 combinations, right? 0 0, 0 1, 1 0 and 1 1. So when the JK will be 0 0, you must remember that when JK is equal to 0 0, the Q will be no change. That means whatever the present state is there, the next state will be the same as that of present state. Okay, when 0 1 is applied to JK, then output will be reset. When 1 0 will be applied to JK, output will be set, and when 1 1 will be applied to JK, it will called toggle state. Okay, the output will be toggled whenever the JK will be tied to 1, logic 1, and the clock will be applied. That time the Q0 will be toggled. If present state of Q0 is 0, after applying the clock signal it will become 1, or if suppose present state is 1, after applying the clock signal it will become the 0. That is called the toggle. Okay, so here we are using the toggle state, and for similarly for flip-flop 1 also we are using toggle state, but it is partial toggle state. I can say partial toggle means what? We cannot give guarantee that it will be always 0 here. Sorry, there will be always 1. No, it is not like that. Sometimes sometimes the Q0 will become 0, sometimes Q0 will become 1. So that's why I am saying it is partially toggle. Okay, so depending upon this Q0 state, the JK will either get 0 0 or 1 1, and if whenever the 1 1 will arrive at these inputs and clock will be provided, that time only the Q1 will be toggle. Okay, now consider that initially clock is set to 0, okay, and the clock is not applied, then Q1 Q0 will be set to 0 by default, because right now only we have switched on the circuit, we have given the power supply. Okay, now consider that if the first clock is applied, when the first clock is applied, then what will happen? Now here logic 1 is already available at J0 and K0 input, right? But here the Q0 was set to 0, Q1 was set to 0. Okay, now this 0 is applied to J1 and K1. So you just remember the truth table of JK flip-flop. Okay, so when JK is equal to 0 0, that time what is the output of JK flip-flop? No change. Okay, so due to this 0, the Q1 will become what? Same as that of present Q1, that is 0. Okay, and what about the Q0? What about the Q0? Q0 will be toggled because the J0 and K0 is already tied to 1. So whenever the clock will be applied, the Q0 will just go on toggling. It will never stop. Okay, so on each and every clock the Q0 will toggle. Okay, so I can write here 1. Okay, now this 1 is available at the Q0. It is just waiting at this J1 and K1 inputs. Okay, but Q1 is what? 0. So there is no change. Now when we apply the next clock, second clock, that time what will happen? Now this 1 is waiting at J and K input, J1 and K1 inputs, and once the clock is applied here, this Q0 will change its state. Okay, that will become 0, and this, due to this 1, the Q1 output will be changed, that is 0 to 1. Okay, now here the Q1 will have 1 and Q0 will have 0. Okay, now this 0 is waiting at J1 and K1 inputs, and Q1 is having now 1. Now what will happen when we apply the third clock? Already this 11 is waiting at J0 and K0 inputs, and this 0 is waiting at J1 and K1 inputs. Okay, now when we apply the clock signal, the flip-flop will consider only the present state of the inputs. Okay, and hence it will generate the output, that is Q. So here, due to this 0, the output will not be changed when the clock will be applied. So Q1 will what? Q1 will become same state, that is 1, and due to this 1 the Q0 will be toggled, that is 0 to 1. Okay, so this is the last state of our synchronous counter. Now further, if you will apply the clock signal, then what will happen? If you apply the fourth clock, okay, if you are interested, then you can again see here. Okay, so if you apply the fourth clock, then what will happen? The 1 is already applied, it is just waiting here. So anyhow the Q0 is always going on toggling. So this output state will be changed to 0 again, and the previous state of the Q0 was 1 here, right? So this 1, and this 1 was applied to J1 and K1, and these two 1s are waiting here. Okay, so when the clock was applied here, due to this 1 the output should be toggled, that is 0. Okay, so this 1 will replaced by 0 here. Okay, now here you can see the total combinations are 4, due to this 2 raised to 2 is equal to 4 combinations. So this sequence is again going on repeating now. Okay, so 0, 1, 2 and 3, these are the decimal equivalent of this 2-bit combinations. Okay, so if you apply the continuous clocks, then again the sequence will go on repeating. Okay, now if you want to have the down counting, so this is all about the up counting. Okay, the decimal value is just going on increasing, so this is called up counter, synchronous up counter. Now if you want to make the same circuit as down counter, okay, then what changes should be done here? The changes should be, instead of taking here outputs from Q0 and Q1, you have to take the outputs from Q0 bar and Q1 bar. Okay, because anyhow we are getting here complemented version of Q0. So instead of taking the outputs at Q0 and Q1, you have to take here Q0 bar and Q1 bar. Okay, so I will just write here Q0 bar, Q1 bar and Q0 bar. So if you take the complement, you will get here 1 1, 1 0, 0 1 and 0 0. Okay, again the complement of this will be 1 1. So this will be down counting, 3, it will be 2, it will be 1 and it will be 0, again it will be 3. Okay, and one more option you are having, that if you want to again instead of taking outputs from bar complemented outputs, then you can have the reverse the clock. That means instead of falling edge, you can have the rising edge. Okay, that kind of flip-flops you can use for down counting also. Okay, so I hope you understood this simple circuitry. Okay, and in the next video we will see how to design this particular synchronous counter. Okay, if you liked this video, then please click on like button, comment in the comment box, and if you are new to this channel, then please subscribe to the channel. Thank you.